Now first off is an older coin. It is a 1921 peace dollar that has a cracked planchet. So we can see that there at the bottom of the coin. See that crack taking place there? And then we can also see that there on the reverse, of course, through the top over there by the A of America. Now this $1 piece coin sold for over $200. 200 US dollars. Next up is a very cool nickel, a Jefferson Nickel. This is actually a wartime nickel. Now from 1942 to 1945, if you guys are familiar with coins, you know that they made those in 35% silver. Now this coin here is a 1944, which is the wartime nickel. Now it has been broad struck and multi-struck, so we can see that there, especially around the rim of the coin. So very noticeable error there taking place on this nickel. Now this coin sold for over $400. Moving on to a very cool coin. This is a 1955 Denver minted wheat penny that has been struck through the obverse. So we can see that strike through taking place right here, very noticeable on the obverse of the wheat penny. So very cool. Here on the back, looks perfectly fine, and boy, this wheat penny is in very, very good condition. It's graded at a mint state 66. This coin sold for over $300. Next up, now this one, I really like this coin as well. This is a 1957 Denver minted Lincoln wheat penny. Now this has a peeled lamination on the obverse. So if we zoom in there, you can really see that lamination taking place. Very awesome error. I love lamination errors like this extreme. Very, very cool. This 1957 penny sold for a little over $100. Not too bad for that, 100 bucks. Next up is a 1964 Denver minted Roosevelt dime. Now this coin is 90% silver, and we can see that the front of the coin has been struck through reading. Alright, so very, very cool there. Now this coin sold for over $300 because of that mint error. Next up is a silver 1971 S Eisenhower dollar coin. Now it doesn't look like much is going on, however, it has been struck through plastic here on the front of the coin. So if we zoom in there, you can really see that yellowish and brownish tone right there. That is a piece of plastic that the coin was struck through. So very, very cool. Like this error, it's not too noticeable if you're really not paying attention, but it is there when you zoom in. Now this coin here sold for over $140. Next up is a 1976. I know you guys love those bicentennial quarters. Now this quarter here has been struck 30% off center. Very noticeable. This quarter sold for over $250. Moving on to a 1982 large date Lincoln penny. Now this one has a partial collar with the obverse blockage. Very noticeable. I mean, half the coin's gone, right? So very, very noticeable. You wouldn't have to, you know, search or look hard for this. It will stick out like a sore thumb. Now this penny here sold for over $150. Next up is another coin, kind of similar. It will stick out like a sore thumb. It is a die cap error taking place here, and we can clearly see that here on the obverse and the reverse of the coin. Now this penny here sold for over $400. Moving on to a 1997. Now this one looks fairly normal. Looks like it's worn down. However, it was actually struck on a foreign planchet, and the coin only weighs 4.66 grams. So very cool, 1997. Always cool to see very more modern coins in comparison to you know, the older coins that we talk about sometimes with these types of errors. So this is a $250 quarter, 250 bucks. Next up, a very cool coin. Love this coin as well, because if we look here on the reverse, we see a regular Lincoln penny design, and then here on the obverse, you see the counter blockage error taking place, which doesn't have a date. It looks like it could be almost in the 1960s. I feel like I almost see a 6 there, but it's very difficult. You can see part of the word liberty as well. And this penny sold for over $130. Alright, check out these other error coins that you should always be on the lookout for in your pocket change. Is a very cool coin. This is a 1964 Denver minted Lincoln cent here. Now this penny is something that I would love to have in my collection. It's 1964, however, it's been struck on a 1951 Denver minted Lincoln penny. Now you can see there towards the left of Lincoln's head, you can see the date of the other penny, and then to the right of Lincoln's nose, you can see Liberty. So very, very cool error on this coin. Now this penny here sold for over $1,800. Now this is something that could easily be passed up in circulation. People are not searching through their pennies. Only these coin collectors out here, hardcore coin roll hunters, are searching. So this could be something that you could find, man, that wouldn't be noticeable to the average person. Next up is another coin that I really like. This is a 1970 Denver minted Jefferson Nickel that has been double struck, with the second strike being 45% off center. Now it doesn't have the highest grade. It's about uncirculated 58. And you would assume that maybe this is just damaged. However, it is actually an error coin. Now, if you look there on the reverse, you can see the 5 cents almost in the United States of America going through the building of the reverse of the coin. And then we also see that error taking place there on the obverse, the front of the coin as well. Now this nickel here sold for over $350. Next up is a very simple error. It's just a die adjustment strike taking place on a 1974 Denver minted Eisenhower dollar coin. Now obviously it causes, you know, the design to be faded away, and that gives it a little bit of value. This dollar coin here sold for over $350. Moving on to a Jefferson Nickel that has been struck on a Philippine 1 cent planchet. Now, obviously you can tell it's an error coin because, you know, it's not all the way round like it should be, and it's also got the coloration difference. It doesn't have the real color of a nickel there. And of course, it's not gonna weigh much. I would imagine this coin is aluminum, it being from the Philippines, 1 cent planchet. It only weighs 1.2 grams, so I would assume that is aluminum there. And this nickel sold for over $400. Next up is another error coin that I like. It's a 1982 Washington quarter that has been overstruck on a 1982 Philadelphia minted Jefferson Nickel. So we see the error taking place in the images displayed, and this quarter sold for over $350. Next up is another interesting error. Now I could see someone thinking that maybe this is damaged. However, it has been struck through some type of object during the process of minting this coin. Now, this is a 2001 Denver minted Rhode Island state quarter. Now, this is why you always check both sides of your quarters. You can see not really much wrong there with the reverse of the quarter. And then if we look there on the front, you see the error taking place. Now this quarter only sold for nearly $60. However, it's only a quarter, 60 bucks. Cool error coin to add to your coin collection. Next up is a 2004 state quarter, a Florida state quarter, and this one has been struck on a 5 cent planchet. So on a nickel planchet. Now this quarter here sold for over $1,600. Moving on to a 2006 Jefferson Nickel that is broad struck. Now obviously you can see that there in the images displayed, that broad strike taking place on this 2006 nickel, and that will give it a little bit of value. This nickel sold for over $320. Moving on to a 2007 gold dollar coin. Now this is a Thomas Jefferson presidential dollar coin to be exact, and the reverse layer is missing. Now pretty much we got a layer missing here on this coin. You can definitely tell the difference in the coloration of this coin in comparison to what it was supposed to be like. Now this Thomas Jefferson presidential dollar coin sold for over $380. And then always an error to look for. This would probably be in a dime roll, but it is a Lincoln, no dated Lincoln cent that has been struck on a 10 cent coin. Now obviously you can see there in the design, you got the Lincoln Memorial there with Roosevelt's head, so the obverse of the dime and the reverse of the penny together, and then the opposite there on the other side of the coin, Lincoln's head and the reverse of the dime. So this error coin sold for over $430. Alright guys, don't forget to subscribe in the middle metal, check out the videos to the left of me, and until tomorrow, I'll see you all in the comment section below. This is Couch Collectibles, and this is where I disappear.